What the fuck is up, everybody? Welcome back to DFW Punk Mayhem. Second round. I am Billy, of course, and if you're asking, yes, my nose is fine from yesterday. God damn, that was crazy as shit.
Yeah.
Alright, so if all three of these guys kind of look familiar to you without the, I got the boys in Freedom Club, which pretty much, this is like the Luna Brothers, essentially. So, I've had Brandon and Trey on twice for Electric Vengeance, first time just to have them on, and then second time to promote the CD, and then when Chris, when you were in Silvertongue, we had you on, and back when I think that was the first couch episode, like the first couch episode outside.
First casting couch episode?
Yeah. Because everything else was done here, and then I'm like, shit, Silvertongue has like 4 people in it. Like, me and Nathan are like, that's a total of 6. We can't fit 6 people in this bitch. So we did it out in the living room. But yeah, so all the Luna Bros are here. How you guys doing today?
Doing great. Good to see you, Billy.
Hell yeah. I like the whole fancy ghetto. Where the fuck you get this at?
And it just grew overnight.
This is our daily attire.
Yeah, we just kind of wake up and move on,
Yeah, so,
roll out of bed.
So, the roles these guys play in this band is actually slightly different than what they are normally accustomed to. So guys, why don't you tell us what you do specifically in this band?
I'm Brand Static. I play bass and shout random profanity.
I'm Trey Luna Bomber. I do pretty much the same. Play guitar and just shout profanities too.
The guitarist.
I'm the guitarist, yeah.
Yo.
Kristen, that name.
And I'm Gish the Shit, and I play drums, my forte, in Freedom Club.
Hell yeah. So, if y'all do remember the Electric Vengeance episode way back when I started this over a year ago, they did kind of touch up on Freedom Club a little bit, but now I think we can go into like more in depth. So, when we get like the one-on-one, the history of like Freedom Club.
Wow, okay. It's kind of a long story. I'll try to keep it short though, but...
Nah, man, waste my time. 2018.
Okay, well, it kind of spawned after a failed attempt over a death metal band called Strangle that we had. It just kind of, fell apart, and, I finally realized that, I just can't play metal very well. I'm not that good of a guitar player, so just kind of went back to the basics and said, I'm just going to start a punk band, just try to keep it simple, and, I had a neighbor down the street named Richard, and he went by Ricky Carcass, that was his name. And he and I just started jamming one day, and he actually recorded a demo on his own. He started with the guitar, and he recorded the drums to the guitar and 4-track with his drum set in his room. And it was called I Killed the President, that was his song. And I listened to it in my car, I was like, wow, this is really good. He's a good musician, so... He and I got together and started jamming, and at that point it was just a 2-piece. That was probably in the summer or spring of 2005. And, we started writing some songs. We brought some of our old ones back from way back when Chris and I started, like Robert Dick was one. But then, we needed a bassist, and we kind of looked around, and Brandon, I don't think, played at the time.
I did.
Or maybe he did.
Because I was in Strangle.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was in Strangle, and then he played bass in that band. Yeah.
Yeah, but I barely played. Like I think I was playing at that time for 6 months or something like that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. So he was, kind of new to it, but we gave him the demo that we had recorded, and he instantly liked it. At that point, I think it was "Everyone Thinks I'm a Terrorist" is what I wrote, and he listened to it and thought it was really cool, and had some ideas for bass, and he just started sitting in with us, and before you know it, Freedom Club was a band. We practiced for a few months, and then our first show was October 1st, 2005 at the Methodist Church in downtown.
I respect anyone who can remember their debut show on the day.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you.
Trey's a photographic memory.
April 15th, 2017 is the day that's in my mind forever. So I respect that.
Yeah, it
And
was
yesterday when you broke your nose.
Yes!
That will stay for you forever, right?
No, I actually went that way. It went that way.
Whoa.
Well, it's better than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Breaking
like a
your nose
makeover.
isn't as bad as people make it out to be. Like, they're like, oh, you're going to hate it in the morning. I'm like, well, shit, no, man. I broke my nose. It hurt for like a couple minutes. Wiped off all the blood. Walked in.
You look like you had a few white Russians and you're fine now.
Yeah, you know, so I really just went in, I'm just like, oh, wait. And they're like, hey, you have to set that shit back or else it's going to heal like that. I'm like, that's gay. So I like ran into the bathroom, I'm like, all right. Wow, that wasn't that bad. What the fuck?
Damn. Brutal.
Wow.
Yeah. But then I kept dripping again, so I stayed in the bathroom for like 10 minutes, like, fuck. I'm like a ketchup dispenser. Heinz, hit me up. I'm open.
It's all in the beard.
Oh, right, dude, I got all my beard and everything. I think I should. I think that's enough to give me my Pitbull shirt. The actual,
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Shows you've been washing, man.
Yeah, man.
Shows you've been watching.
Took one for the team.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jose. I love you, man. I know you didn't mean it. Oh, and Carlos and Benjamin, if you're watching this, y'all both killed it. Demon Seed always kills it, and Die Antichrist was amazing. Oh God, love you, Benji. Keep it up, dude. To get back on track, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Methodist Church, October 1st, 2005. We played our first show, and at that point, I had worn the Unabomber outfit yet at the time. Now, I think it was the first show that we didn't go in a get-up.
This is the original.
Unabomber outfit?
Yeah.
God damn!
Yeah, you get a Hot Topic.
Hey, FBI, we don't condone this shit. Don't message the YouTube channel, please.
And we got, I wish I had it handy, but we got a review, and that was our only review we ever got, that somebody was watching, and they were just completely appalled, by what we were just spouting off. And we had songs that were inspired, just kind of growing up here in GP, things we saw, like Teenage Pregnancy Makes the World Go Down on You was a title. Everyone thinks I'm a terrorist was about racial profiling. Yeah, I got the receiving end of that.
Getting your order wrong at Lisa's Chicken and Seafood.
That would have been a good title.
God damn it, Lisa! Fuck, bitch!
But and it was, we were also really inspired, I think, by theatrical bands at the time, kind of like the Addicts. Brandon and I had seen them.
Really inspirational.
Actually, that same month, it was October of 2005 at the Galaxy Club. And it was the same month we joined, or formed the band, and we just loved what they did on stage.
They invited us backstage, and we got to talk to Monkey, and just really gave us, we were so young, and we asked him what advice you had for us, and he said, in his English accent, play anywhere and everywhere, and never give a fuck. And that was kind of our motto. It still is our motto.
Yeah, it really instilled a lot of passion into me of what he said, and he even told me, if I was in town, I'd check you out, and he was just really humble, but just, his theatrics on stage, he'd come in, out, in makeup, and, throw cards out, and
glitter,
balloons, and glitter, and
magic tricks.
I just kind of thought, well, that'd be neat if we could make it our own and kind of do something like that, so instead we'd throw packages that were supposed to be bombs out, but they would have, like, CDs and stuff in them,
That's cool.
stuff like that.
Clever idea. It's actually,
and bananas and pies and such.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, we really, it was kind of like a lot of slapstick, married with a punk band, and that's what we were trying to do.
No, that's great, because, like, a lot of punk bands, and I love punk, don't get me wrong, but, like, the level of depth in punk, I feel, doesn't exist as well anymore. Like, I'm seeing, like, 3 or 4 kinds of punk bands. And, like, just archetypes, rather. And it's either, we're skaters, bro! Or it's, like, the pop punk shit that, like, got really popular with, like, angsty emo teens in, like, the late 90s, early 2000s. Or you're getting the people who, like, try to live the show. So, last time my show was, like, 2.5 weeks ago, man. And, like, the music is great, but, like, I feel like what most of them are doing today, like, in terms of theatrics and everything else, they just kind of, like, run off on each other. And, like, what you explained to me is something completely different that, like, I haven't seen a punk band do.
Well, but it's like metal, how there's so many different, like, genres of it. Same with punk.
Yeah.
If you dig deep, there's all types of it. Even, like, comparing, like, the Ramones to the Sex Pistols, which were contemporaries at the time, just,
it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, yeah, they're very different, very different. Even, like, going before that, the proto-punk bands, as this, like, the Stooges, and, New York Dolls, which both heavily influenced the Ramones.
What was that one like?
Death.
They weren't considered punk at the time, but now if you went back to look at them, they would be considered punk.
The Stranglers.
It was like a group of African Americans, right?
Death.
Death.
They're
They're from
Death,
Detroit.
Yeah.
And they were known as like one of the first punk bands. I mean, total, you know.
Yeah, no, they were great.
Before the Ramones.
Before the Ramones, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But they were so quick. It's almost like a prototype to street punk or.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
they were like before their time.
Hardcore.
And I think it was at a time where they weren't really considered punk because punk wasn't around at that point. So they were just like, wow, these guys play different. And then after punk came out, they're like, oh, hey, we can classify Death as punk now.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably, but I remember watching a little documentary on them, and that was actually one of my first like draws to punk.
Chris and I actually watched that the other day. It was
it's a great it's a great documentary.
And at Caves, we've been to Caves. They actually have their album on their jukebox.
Yo.
Death for all the world to see. Yes, it's called.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
but yeah, there've been a lot of I guess trends in punk that I've noticed. I mean, in 2005, it was kind of at least to our knowledge, non-existent. I mean, I think Deep Ellum wasn't what it is now.
And it was very dead back then.
Very dead.
2005, you'd go out on a Friday, Saturday night, and there is like 10 people on the
street. And really nowhere to play, That's kind of how it was. I mean, we had a show at 1919 Hemphill, which kind of introduced us to more of the
Does 1919 still do shows at all?
They do.
They do, yeah.
Hey, it was a little different back then.
Metal?
I could be wrong. I haven't been
thrash? I'm gonna play there. It's cool.
But yeah, back then, there was not too much, but then, they were more like the street punk, style that was popular, I think, that type. And then all of a sudden now it seems to be, kind of merging in more into crust punk, and that seems to be the dominant, stage of punk right now.
I fuck with crust punk. I do. It's great.
Freedom Club, we were kind of even rebellious against all that. We just didn't give a fuck. We just played what we wanted to play. We didn't, try to be this, try to be that.
So you pretty much brought the same attitude in the Freedom Club that you brought in with Electric Vengeance later.
Yeah, and the whole reason is we don't want to get bored. I mean,
exactly.
we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves and sell ourselves to a particular group. We just want to play what we want, and that's what artists do.
So since it seemed like the punk scene was non-existent back at this time, how hard was it to get shows organized or to find bands that played similar to you to fill a bill up?
Well, there were bands back then. There were just Deep Ellum. I mean, we were so new too, looking back, like we didn't really have a lot of connections. We were brand new, so we were trying to always get in on shows. I just recall a Galaxy Club, really in Deep Ellum, was like one of the only places to play back then. Like
and
that would be, or Curtain Club too.
The Door in Fort Worth.
The Door in
Fort Worth. That was like a big one we played a lot.
God, Curtain Club.
And 1919, like later on, we played 1919 a bunch. Like that was our spot.
I love the people in Curtain Club, but I hate looking up at stages like this.
Yeah.
Like Reno's and Whitson has it right. Like stage is like right here, so you can just be like this.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, we actually booked a lot of shows at the Door in Fort Worth, which was near the stockyards.
Yep.
And we would play there at least once a month. But the thing was that there was so little amount of punk bands around. I think only two that I remember were Madam X and 4 Seconds Later.
And did they do any? Are they still active? Either of those bands?
I don't think they are, but we just kind of banded together with them because they were the only bands that were similar to us. But other than that, what was dominant at the time, was screamo bands, hardcore emo type bands.
I remember you telling me about that. And that lasted up till I think like 2011 or 12. Like when you were telling me like back in Electric Vengeance, like y'all would be like pissing off all these like little scene kids and shit.
Well, it's really in Freedom Club. They didn't even give us a chance. They just really, really hated us, and everyone, competing with these high school ego type kids.
Yeah, but like, would you take the criticisms of people who swat invisible bees seriously? Get away! Fucking like, hey, I'm just saying, you can do what you want. I just think you look fucking stupid. That's all I'm saying. Like, as long as you don't hit anybody in the crowd, you're cool. But if you do that, I'm gonna look at you like as if you're like an autistic kid who lost his mommy at grocery store. Fuck.
Yeah. That's true, and that's how it was, you know. And sometimes they would go and just out of their way and kick you and stuff. And
I mean, we have a pretty good hardcore scene now. You know, like I had Forget Conformity on here a couple months ago, and they're solid dudes. You know, we were gonna play a show with them, but it fell through. I've also had Cutthroat Conspiracy on here as well. Very nice guys. Again, it's just. I don't know, that scene is alien to me. I love those dudes to death. I would love to have them play a house party, you know, in the future if they want to. But it's just, you know, it's just not my cup of Dallas Blonde. Some good shit, dude. Jacob Marshall from the Cynax introduced me to this, and I love it. Can't wait to like discover it till now. Got it at the convenience store where the guy talked to Chris and I, and he was like, "Hey, you play? What's with the beer? Oh yeah, you know, we're just gonna go to band practice." And he's like, "Oh, dude, you should play here at the store." And I'm like, "Yo, that's like the most metal thing ever. I want to play in a convenience store. What the fuck?"
Yeah, he was cool, man.
Right?
He invited us. He's like, "Yeah, y'all set up a show here."
Yeah, no,
Badass.
Yeah,
Across the street, right?
Yeah, literally across
right
the street.
over there.
Carrier C store.
Hell yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna do that for sure. One thing I wanted to touch up on with you guys was what decided, because like y'all were playing for a while and then it cut. Kind of like it's like as you said today in the post when you tagged me in. The last time you played was half a decade, and then the time before that was another half decade. At what point did Freedom Club slow down, and why did it slow down?
Let's see, after Richard left, which was, I guess, around May of 06, or April, May, something like that, we parted ways, and Chris was in this badass fucking band, which we need to mention, called Midnight Riot. And they were really kind of new wave British heavy metal style.
Yo.
And they were 15 years old. I mean, they were killing it in GP, and they would play these Battle of the Bands in North Grand Prairie at this church, and they would win every single one of them. They were fucking legit. Really inspirational to me as a guitar player. They really were. There's a couple members in the band, the guitarist Derek Branham, one of them, who was just a shredder. I mean, at 15 years old, he was awesome.
And I take it they're no longer active?
No, they're not. We kind of lost contact, actually, with all those guys. Yeah, but our first show was one of their shows, too, at the church. I think Midnight Riot was playing with us. But after Richard left, I don't know if Midnight Riot had broken up at the time, but Chris didn't have a band, and that's when Chris came in 06, and that's when we recorded Liberty or Death, our album, which is not that one, the other one. It's this one. So that's us in 2006.
They're stabbing each other. It's cool as fuck.
I always wish, though, I could have like an AK-47 and just point it up to Chris so we could all be flowing.
Yeah, that would have
I thought that would look cool.
We blew it.
That's quite a gun.
Listen, I'm a terrorist.
You can't buy that Dick's Sporting Goods anymore, buddy.
Oh, really?
No, because...
Oh, yeah, they banned their guns. Right?
Yeah, and Walmart did some restrictions, too.
Oh, wow.
No, that just means now it just gives them more business. To
Liberty or death, you know?
Yeah, well, now it just gives them
You're
more...
sure, Gitch?
Yeah, exactly.
It's now, well, I mean, hey, in a way, all they really did was just bring more business to the family-owned gun stores.
Right.
Which, hey, I'm completely for that. Thank you, Walmart and Dick's. Supporting small businesses in your own way. God, I don't mean to get political on here. I need a drink. Much better. I have a problem. Alright, so,
How's your nose?
it's great.
Okay, it looks
Yeah.
great.
Oh, yeah,
It's like
no.
some Play-Doh got to it.
Right?
It's like it's made of clay.
Oh, let me re-break it again now.
I gotta see the picture. You took a picture last
I
time?
did take a picture. I'll
Oh,
show
yeah.
it to you,
One-
dude.
yeah,
Oh
man.
my god. It's actually a good thing that you're off Facebook because I fucking hate Facebook. I only use it to promote my shows and my podcast, honestly. But here... I'll show the camera too, just in case you lovely viewers were not able to witness this shit.
Is that a Zodiac?
Oh, shit.
Right?
Yeah, it looks like a
Yeah,
question mark.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Look at he's even wearing the Zodiac watch.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, see, look at the difference. It's pretty fucking nasty.
I don't know. That's crazy.
Looks like a question mark.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, it does.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
So,
Just hashtag Kaczynski.
Yeah. No.
That's what we were talking about.
All right, sorry about that. Let's get back on track to the
Oh, go ahead.
back on track to the slowing down of the band. That's Chris. So Chris joined after Midnight Ride, kind of.
And Chris took it to a whole different level. I mean, with his drumming. I mean, because Richard was a great drummer, but more of a punk drummer. And Chris is, how Chris is.
Chris
Wasn't
is
this
super
photo
diverse.
here taken outside the church?
No, I was taken
That was a
outside
curtain
the Galaxy
Or
Club.
Galaxy Club.
Yeah, in the back alley.
And this
Yeah.
one's actually right after we saw the Addicts play, like the next few days. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we took that photo.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. But go ahead.
Oh yeah. Anyways, but Chris just brought it to a whole another level. As you can, whenever we're giving Billy these CDs, so whenever you listen to him, you can hear the difference between the songs. But it's just more metal, more thrash. We got even faster, and it just going Mach 10 pretty much.
Well, and probably previously, like me and Trey had already. I mean, we were in Aggression Colony. That was like our first kind of band.
Yeah.
And then we
Manipulators.
The Manipulators,
And
right?
the Gallows.
Which actually, some of the Manipulator songs became Freedom Club songs, right?
Yeah, possibly.
Like Robert Did It, and like all the.
Robert Did It was one. That was really probably the first song I ever wrote. And then we did The Youngest of 12.
Yeah.
Which I think we may have done as Freedom Club. Not too sure.
Yeah, I think we did.
We probably did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a few of them just kind of trickled in later on.
Because Trey and Chris, they would write a lot of the early songs together. I mean, way back when, even before Freedom Club.
Yeah, when we had Bobby.
Yeah, back in
on bass at Dream World.
Well, they even played when we used to live on Stonewall.
You did that little riff.
Sorry, I was saying when we used to live on Stonewall, Trey and Chris put on a show in our front yard on Halloween night.
Oh yeah,
and
it actually was pretty good success.
It was, yeah.
And I remember Ricky came that night.
Yeah,
he came on my drum set. I remember when he started doing this little thing, and I was like, "Oh man, that's cool. It sounds good."
Yeah, that's kind of probably the first time we met him, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think at that time it just slowed down. We parted ways with Ricky. Chris got on, and hung in with us for. In the summer, we recorded, this one.
In 06.
In 06, and then I think that carried on until about October, and then we parted with Chris, and then Richard came back. He actually sent us a message on MySpace.
Well, no, before Richard.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Chris B.
That was the gap, yeah. This little kid named Chris B, who would lie about his age and say he was 19 when he was really 17.
What would you lie about? The difference?
Because he would try to get us to buy him cigarettes.
Yeah.
And he was diabetic too, if I'm not mistaken.
But he filled that gap between about October to, I want to say, about March of 07. And he was not so great. He would fumble a lot with his drums and, have an elaborate setup and couldn't set it up in time before people would leave to see us play.
Yeah, dude, that dude was
and he was
slow-mo.
Kind of a lot of trouble, but we parted with him, and then I guess Richard or Ricky Carcass, he had heard about it and messaged me and Brandon on our MySpace and said, hey, I'd like to rejoin. I'm kind of apologized for some stuff, and we gave it a shot. So he hung in from about, I'd say, about March to about June. And then we had a little falling out with him, and that was just kind of it after that. We had been a band for 2 years, and we could not find a drummer that was into punk and our stuff.
So was this the part, or is this upcoming to the point where Electric Vintage starts?
Well, see, here it is. When we had it was because Electric Vintage started. FC ended in June of 07, and then Freedom or Electric Vintage started, right after that, June of 07.
Yeah, within maybe a week or two.
But see, Trevor got to mention, though, whenever we'd be jamming with, Chris B, he would be late all the time, and that's when Trey just said, fuck it, I'm just going to drum a little bit, and then I got on Trey's guitar, and then just started jamming guitar.
Yeah, that's kind of was, I guess, a pivotal moment in, what we wound up doing later.
Yeah.
so thanks to Chris B, you know, we were able to switch instruments just to pass the time, and we kind of got into them. You know, Brandon got in playing guitar, I got interested in drums, and then, you know, that was a bit of a precursor to what was to come.
Now, what became of you after the...
Well, after I left Freedom Club, or we parted ways, I started King Ivy, which was like a death metal band with Edgar, Arturo, and Damien. Or I don't know if Damien was in it yet, because me, Arturo, and Edgar, we're all high school friends.
Yeah.
We started Stab in the Throat. And then, I think that was right around the time Freedom Club like parted. And then we started King Ivy, which was like and we were in that band for almost 5 years. And we played with EV all the time at 1919. Like that's when EV started really coming up, and King Ivy we were all in the same scene, so we'd play shows like killer, phenomenal shows in 1919.
Right.
Man,
Oh yeah.
the pits were amazing. That's when 1919 was like the shit, man. Like everybody played there, punk bands. I mean, you'd have a punk lineup with EV.
And then like death
and
metal.
then Freedom Club would occasionally come in and we'd be like, hey, let's play Freedom Club on top of it. So we would like add Freedom Club, King Ivy, and EV all at the same set. It was
we played with the street punk band called Tattered Flag.
Oh yeah.
And
I just ran into Ruben at Walmart. Did I tell you that? Yeah, and he has 2 kids and the girl Lauren.
Yeah.
I invited them to the show.
They might come out.
Yeah,
Shout out to Tattered Flag.
I told him that because you follow Lauren on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Or she follows you.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, Brandon will probably post it, so look for it, and then because they might come out.
Yeah, so speaking of this show that they're talking about, if you don't already know, because I've already regurgitated the fuck out of it over and over again in this podcast recently, March 31st is going to be Naj's birthday, and it's going to be a kill lineup. I got Freedom Club with me up tonight, got Electric Vengeance, I got fucking Fake Bringer. Shout out to you dudes, y'all killed it yesterday at the Fort Worth Metal Fest when y'all played. I got Necrosis, and this is your last chance to see a Steinax before they take a hiatus to record their first full-length album. So you better be out for it because you don't want to miss it. All the money I'm going to be making for this show is going to go directly to Bruce Corbett, my brother, my inspiration, and everything else in between, to help him out with his metal expenses, or to help him, or to help his wife out in any way that we can. Chris's wife is going to be making some bomb-ass tacos. And if you're dumb enough to not bring beer out of BYOB, she'll probably also be selling you some beer too.
And Jello shots.
Yeah, we're going to have like a case of like tons, like 100 plus Jello shots.
Yo,
for $1 a
you're gonna
piece,
see
so.
the white girl in me. White girl.
Wear boots.
Yeah. Wear those whore boots.
We gotta bring out a really badass cake from Sensational Cakes for Naja. You're gonna love it, girl. I told Colby all about it, but not you. So it's gonna be great. You know, it's gonna be a fun time. Our house parties seem to go really well here. We don't really get the cops called. Like, people are pretty chill about it. Everything ends by midnight. Come out, let's have some fun, grab some beers, let's just enjoy music together.
Listen to this dude Billy. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. Don't go on the table with your head down, because you'll get punched in the nose and it'll be broken. Well, guys, one thing I really I guess the last thing I want to bring up is one question is what is making you bring this back? Like, I mean, obviously it's cool to have a house party, but like, is there more that goes into it? Like, do you plan on keep doing like these one-offs every now and then if you get the opportunity to do so? What is the future plans for Freedom Club, if there are any at all?
Yeah, I mean, really, you're the one who inspired us to do it, because, you know, I figured that Freedom Club would be perfect for a house type of show. You know, it's not something I'd be interested in doing, you know, on a permanent basis or in the scene, or, you know, I don't really have a passion for playing guitar, really, not anymore. You know, I'm totally focused on EV, but, you know, this is, something once in a blue moon, you know, Freedom Club's unpredictable. You know?
Just bring up the fire whenever it comes
And for
out.
me, it's an outlet to play bass, because I love playing bass. It's my first instrument, so.
You see this dude in action again. He's one of the best drummers in the scene.
Oh, thanks.
So you get to see him come back and tear up the fucking kit. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and say it. He's actually one of the people trying out for the new drum roll squash, or at least jamming with us
Yeah.
on a weekly basis. And it's been a
Well,
lot
we've
of
been
fun so far.
nailing, 3 or 4 songs now.
Pretty much. Just fucking dude's like, yeah, I'll just listen to the demo and I'll get everything. Comes over and gets everything. I'm like, god damn. Fuck. So no, yeah, we're really excited. Y'all all definitely come out to this show. It's gonna be a lot of fun. These guys are killer in everything they do. I mean, as I said, March 31st, $5, BYOB. All money goes to Bruce Corby. You get to enjoy some tacos, some beer.
Yeah, bring some cash for some tacos. If not, bring your credit card. We got one of those. What are they called?
E-readers, chip readers things.
Those thingamajigs.
You mean I think you put it in your phone?
Oh, Square. Yeah, you put it on your phone. We can swipe your card. But they're gonna be like real cheap, you know. But we're just gonna have tacos, like chicken tacos, and all fresh. I think she's even making brownies, but there's no weed in them.
Damn it.
So don't bring your own weed and smash it in there and eat them.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right.
Sweet. My cousin has a lot of weed. FBI, don't watch.
Whatever you prefer, weed, mushrooms, put them in there and eat them. You'll be having a good night.
Guys, thank you guys for coming on so much. I really appreciate it. As always, it's always fun to have you guys on this podcast, just shooting the shit with y'all about everything. I definitely know there will be more in the future. I cannot wait for it. Again, come on March 31st. Let's catch this shit. Let's have a lot of fun. Next episode is going to be fucking fun because this is probably my new favorite local band, or like right now my favorite local band, who has just been crushing it. Absolutely fucking crushing it. They play like almost every week. They are destroying venues. They are destroying faces. I preached a good word about these motherfuckers. Combat! Let's fucking go. This has been DFW Metal Mayhem. I will see you guys next week. I am so fucking excited for Combat next week. Oh my God.